Hey there friends, Rebecca here. Hey, I hope you're getting to do something creative here this week. It's always so much fun whenever I can get some creative moments in. And it's been a while since I've shown you a 3D print, but I've got some really interesting ones here that I want to show you. And I am going to refer to these as just rubbing plates. They are wonderful for being able to get texture in your drawing, and you may have done stuff like this when you were a kid, and so you just put these under a piece of paper, and this works great if you've got the old crayons, and even dried out markers work great. And just don't use your good markers for this, like your good juicy brush markers won't work so well, but if you have like some older highlighters or old dried out markers are the best with a harder tip, then they'll work great. But just look at the texture that you can get. So I have created 3 different designs, and just using some free SVGs for patterns, and then creating the 3D print, where I actually used the name tag, or the nameplate wizard that allows you to create things really easily. So I added an SVG file on top of the base plate, and then added this little tag on the corner so that if you wanted to hang them on a ring or something, you could keep them all together. But they're super thin. I think it was 1 millimeter for the base plate, and then 1.2 millimeter for the blue, because I wanted it to stand up pretty tall so that you can get some good texture. So again, these work great on just paper. So like here, if you've got this old dried out marker, yeah, because you need to press kind of hard, but it works great with marker and crayon and colored pencils. And you can layer the design, so you could start with some you know, like your paint sticks or acrylic, and then come back and add texture on top of that. You know, and I bet you could even use these in clay, and probably even those of you that do the jelly plate mono prints, I bet they would work for that. But this is just so fun, and just something to show you. So it works great on these things that I've tried. And then if you don't mind the mess, these chalk pastels. I've got this really old set of chalk pastels picked up at Hobby Lobby a long time ago. They're pretty messy, but if you don't mind the mess, then these chalk pastels work great. You could cover a larger area. Yeah, you'd have to be a little bit easier handed than that. Let's see. Chalk pastels are good, very colorful. I actually did these 2 with chalk pastel. Here, I'll just show you. But it's not permanent. You'd have to use the fixative for pastel. That's just so cool. So anyway, you can make yourself some really good collage papers, or add it to your art journal and just layer to your heart's content, and just have fun with it. You can tell I've been experimenting with all different types of markers and pens and pencils. Even ballpoint pen will work to an effect on this tighter print. Again, you can put it on top of crayon, add your own designs. So even just a regular ballpoint pen will work a little bit, give you a cool textured look. And of course, if I kept going over that, you'd see that pattern a little bit more. Let's try this one. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely a good textured look. That works really well with those colored pencils. And then, so think about this, any 3D print that you've got, any of these 3D prints that are out there in Maker World already, then think of them as for art. This was like a necklace design out there, and like a little house design with the roof tiles. So you'll find a ton of prints already out on Maker World that make some really good texture. This was one of those fidget patterns that are so cool. And I used it with just regular pencil. Yeah, very, very cool. And then these SVGs are not my design, so I can't upload them to Maker World, but you know, just think outside the box. Any kind of SVG out there could become a texture rubbing for your art journal. All right, well, these 3 prints I will share to Maker World, so I will put a link down below, so come check them out if you want to print them as well. Thanks.